What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest with the Rambling Rio YouTube channel where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. Today is Friday, December 30th, the penultimate day of the year, 2022. A wild year it was. I know y'all ain't heard from me in a minute. It was a little bit of a dark period for myself, man. This last month, I've been going through some things and it wouldn't have been myself at all, and I would not have been able to put my right foot forward and give y'all the passion and give y'all the Rio that I always do when I make a video when I'm going through some shit. So I needed to take some time. I needed to go away and I needed to figure some things out mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, every way you could possibly think of. I appreciate all the kind words and the comments on the community post via DM, via text message. If I didn't get back to you, I'm sorry. I've been going through it, but your boy is picking his head up and we putting that right foot forward and we're stepping into 2023 the same way that we went into 2022. Our Washington Commanders are on the precipice of making the playoffs this year, and we have a familiar face returning to the starting lineup. But before we get to the game, I just wanted to say one more time, I appreciate the community, the fan base, my friends, my people. I love y'all. I appreciate the kind words and y'all checking in on your boy. It's been a little bit of a dark time. Those who know. I don't need to get into details about all that, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this football game on Sunday. Our 7-1 Washington Commanders host the massage maniac, the massage menace, Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns with no hopes of making the playoffs as they've been mathematically eliminated from the AFC playoff picture. This is for them another showcase and preseason showcase of sorts for Deshaun Watson to get up to speed in the Cleveland offense. Before we get to our side of things, let's get to talk about the opponent for a little bit. Deshaun. This is going to be his fifth game playing after serving an 11-game suspension for that messy-ass story that you know the rest. We don't even need to go into details about that. We're talking about football right now. Deshaun Watson, the football player and not massage patient, he's been struggling so far, but it's as to be expected when he hasn't played in over 2 years. He hasn't played in over 2 seasons, and he has to knock the rust off. And if there's one thing I know about the Washington Commanders football team, Redskins, that I've loved since 1991, is that we are the ultimate get-right boys. We are the get-right boys. We are good luck Chuck. We are the slump busters. If you are struggling, if there is anything you need fine-tuned, adjusted, or solved, anything, any resolution you need, you play Washington. Whenever Washington shows up on your schedule, no matter how good or bad our record is, we're going to get it right for you. It's like, just think about it. Every Sunday you hear the commentators say some shit like, Justin Jefferson hasn't scored a touchdown since week 2. This player hasn't scored a touchdown in his career yet. This guy hasn't scored since 2021. And what the fuck do they do when they play Washington? Whatever it is that they needed fixed, we are the elixir for it. We're the potion. We are the medication for whatever their sickness is. And I would like to see us not be that. I would like to see us keep progressing into a future that's different than what we're used to. But if my squad is who I know they are, Deshaun's going to throw for 300 yards and a couple touchdowns on Sunday. Deshaun in 4 games has 703 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. That's like 176 yards a game. Less than a touchdown a game. He has more picks than touchdowns. He hasn't sniffed 300 yards yet. Well, he had 276-yard games and 3 games where he was under 200 yards. He's been given the full Zach Wilson treatment in his first 4 games back. But we know it's not going to last because Deshaun is a generational talent. And that's not a word I like to throw around too much, but that's what he is. Regardless of how you feel about his personal indictments and all that character shit, Deshaun is a special talent at the quarterback position. He has been special since he's come out of Clemson. So he's not someone you want to sleep on. And we have injuries in our secondary right now. Cam Curl and BSJ, Benjamin St. Juice, I think they're expected to play. They're questionable on this week's injury report, but we need those boys back. If Curl doesn't play, Njoku is going to gash us because we've never been able to defend a tight end in my entire 31 years of living. And we're going to make David Njoku look like Kittle did last week when Kittle went over 100 and a touchdown on us. And the touchdown he caught, there was 2 receivers in the end zone fighting for the ball because Kittle thought that Ray McLeod was one of our safeties, because it didn't make sense that 2 guys were just that ass open, ass naked in the end zone, you know? But yeah, you know what they do on the offensive side of the ball. Nick Chubb, they're going to try to get things going with their star running back. He's at almost 5 yards a carry for the season, 1,300 plus yards, 12 touchdowns. Absolute baller. He had 90 yards last week. He's a bowling ball type player. He is much better than I thought he was going to be as a pro. I was definitely screaming Darius Geis. And there's a lot of reasons why Darius Geis didn't pan out or last in the league when we drafted him here. But Nick Chubb has been a pleasant surprise to me. Everybody thought the better running back of that Georgia duo, or not everybody, but I would say that the vast majority thought Sony Michel was going to be the baller of that duo. But Nick Chubb has been everything for the Cleveland Browns, and he's put that offense on his back with a struggling Watson and with the capped ceiling of Jacoby Brissett in relief of Deshaun Watson during that 11-game suspension. But we know what the Browns do. It's going to be Nick Chubb. It's going to be Amari Cooper on the outside, who we know very well. He's roasted our cornerbacks rotisserie style on a daily basis when he played for Dallas, and David Njoku. Those 3 guys, they really don't have shit offensively other than Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper. So the game plan, try to take Cooper out the game as best of our ability and try to stop the run, because they don't really have too much after that. Just Njoku versus our linebackers, and hopefully Jamin can get his first pick of the season. And speaking of first picks of the season, if Cam Curl plays, it would be beautiful if he got one, because Cam has not caught an interception since 2020. The COVID season, which was his rookie year, hasn't caught a pick since. But he's a baller, he's a ball hawk, and he's the heartbeat and pulse of that secondary. Shout out to Derek Forrest, who has 4 interceptions on the season. That boy is balling. He's a baller, he's a hitter, but I know what everybody wants to talk about. The new mascot. Nah, I'm kidding. We already knew what the new mascot was going to be. Tutty the pig is going to be the hog. Well, the hog, my bad, is going to be announced on Sunday. And he looks pretty cool. You know what? I'm a grown ass man. I'm not going to sit here and rant and rave about a guy dressed up in a costume that kids like and that does funny shit and is kind of a caricature of the team. You know what I'm saying? My daughter likes it. So I'll put a fucking pig snout on and laugh with my daughter. If she likes it, I like it. So fuck it. It's a hog. We all knew it was going to be a hog. The name of the team is still the Commanders, but we're moving on. Everybody wants to talk about the quarterback situation because you know I have a lot to say about the quarterback situation. It's been about a month since y'all have heard from me. Although my life has kind of been in shambles and I've been in the dark. I've been on zero dark 30 mode. I've watched this team. I've watched every second that this team has played. I've seen it all. And I told y'all weeks ago, Ron was going to go back to Carson at some point. I told you it was going to happen because Taylor Heineke is a great story, but all his games, all his performances all look similar. They all look similar. The difference is the results. We won 0 games in the month of December, guys. Taylor's play did not differ from any of the performances he had in November. The difference was our playmakers, our defense, and the luck of the football gods fell on our side in November. And that's why we were winning games. Taylor's game didn't change at all. He was not overperforming or any of that. He's the same guy every week, but you get to get away with those things when they're dropping the picks, when we recover the fumbles that he drops, and when our wide receivers are catching YOLO balls thrown up over Stephon Gilmore that should have been an interception. When those things and penalties, they fall on our side, you can overlook erratic turnovers and uneven quarterback play, because let's call a spade a spade. That's what Taylor Heinicke is every week. He's a turnover machine. He's erratic, and he has not used his legs enough. But he got us in position to make the playoffs. I'm thankful for it. He is a very solid backup with an amazing story. I appreciate his efforts, but for these last 2 weeks of the season, we need to rely on the right arm of somebody to get us in the postseason, and that right arm needs to be an arm that can let it fly and actually scare the defense vertically. So we already know Prince Harry himself, the birthday boy, Mr. Commander Carson Wentz, has been inserted back into the lineup, and he looked good in relief duty of Taylor versus the Niners last week. I know everybody's gonna say, "Ooh, those were garbage time stats, blah 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 blah." Shut the fuck up. Like, no, cut it out. We're not doing that. We're not doing that hive shit, because I'm not on nobody's hive. I'm a fan of Washington. I bleed burgundy and gold. I can give a fuck who you suit up at quarterback for my team. I'm gonna support them, and I'm gonna call it how I see it. No matter how they play, I'm gonna tell it how it is. Carson looked good. They were sending the blitz at him, which I don't know why he thought was surprising, because of course they're going to blitz the guy who's been a statue in the pocket and sometimes sees ghosts, a la Sam Darnold 4 years ago, and sees pressure that isn't there. But he looked good. He got the ball out of his hands quick. He was snapping it quick, and he threw a dot to Curtis Samuel for a touchdown. It was a 2-possession game when he got in, and there was like, 8 to 10 minutes left in the game? That's not garbage time, my friend. That is football. And the defense obviously let them go back and score another touchdown. But anywho, like I was saying, it was a 2-possession game when Carson got in. He looked sharp when he got in, but you already knew when he was cleared to play that Ron could not wait to put Carson back in the game at some point. And the guys in the locker room, they get it too, bro. They get it. They understand that no matter how much they rock with Taylor on a personal level, they know that there's a percentage of the offense they have to pretty much throw away, because he's showing up to a gunfight with a super soaker. He's showing up with a water pistol to a Tommy gun fight, and that's not going to work, and that's not going to beat the upper echelon teams in this league. We had opportunities to beat the San Francisco 49ers, and Taylor was actually for a while playing one of his better games of the year, but that's as far as I want to go on the Taylor Heinicke thing. He's not playing this week, and we appreciate him for what he's done for this team, but he's not playing, so we moving on. Commander Carson takes control of the offense. We have 2 number 1 receivers. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that yet. We don't have a number 2. We have a 1A and a 1B. And 1B is having a hell of a rookie season. I don't even want to know what his stats would look like if he didn't miss a month of games. Jahan Dotson is fucking him, and I will eat all the crow of my draft day initial reaction, because I did not know that this boy was this much of a bad boy. Man, I probably would have seen it if Sean Clifford wasn't his quarterback in college, because that boy is bad, man. He does it all. He beats every type of coverage. He stems his route and sets up corners like a 5-year vet, and all that boy does is get open. Curtis Samuel, all he does is get open, and when he gets the ball, he makes things happen, usually breaking the tackle. Usually it takes more than one person to bring him down, and you already know Scary Terry gonna Scary Terry in a matchup. So that's gonna be a matchup I'm looking at. But they have some talent in their secondary, but these guys give up over 5 yards a carry, and Brian Robinson has averaged 4.5 over the last few weeks. This is a dude who's knocking on the doors of a 1,000-yard season despite missing the first month of the season, getting shot in his lower extremity. This dude is over 700 yards with 2 games left. Wouldn't it be nice if he could have 2 big-ass games and get to 1,000 yards despite missing a month of the season? That boy is bad. Scott Turner, listen to me, my brother. When he has it going, When Brian Robinson, the tank, has it going, don't shy away from him. Don't turn away with what's working. Stop trying to fix what ain't broke and let that boy carry that ball. See, the way I see this game playing out is there's what should happen and what's actually going to happen. What should happen, we're a better football team than the Cleveland Browns. We're more talented and we're for the most part healthy right now. We should handle this team and beat this team by 2 possessions. The score should be 24-10, especially with the way Deshaun Watson has been playing. But I know my team better than that, and I know how we get down, and we have to make things hard. We have to make things difficult, and we have to make fans go into cardiac arrest every Sunday of their lives until oblivion. So expectations 24-10. Reality in my brain, and if I had to put money on it, 24-20 Washington Commanders. Birthday boy Carson Wentz. And shout out to Carson, by the way. He shares a birthday with my favorite athlete ever, LeBron James. Happy birthday to the king as well. If you don't like him, too bad. I love him on this channel, so I'm going to give him his props. But Carson, bold prediction. Carson over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Washington wins 24-20. Defensive bold prediction. Chase Young, who is starting this week and looked very, very impressive versus the San Francisco 49ers. 1.5 on Deshaun Watson on Sunday. Book it, count it. Oh, also, Watson's going to have a good game versus us. He's going to throw for over 250 yards and multiple touchdowns. He's going to do things he hasn't done yet. Expect it, because he's getting his football legs under him. But Washington's going to get the W, and we're going to send him right back to the massage tables of Cleveland, Ohio, and back up to obscurity, because there's going to be no playoff in the sights of the Cleveland Browns. And after we get our dub on Sunday, we scoreboard watch, we pray, and we root hard for Kirk Cousins, Mike White, and Justin Fields. Do your thing on Sunday. Get the Packers, Lions, and Seahawks the fuck out of here, because we're trying to you know what a beautiful world would be? We're trying to make the playoff. We're trying to get in the offs, right? You know what would be great? If all of those teams we needed to lose lost, and we won and we clinched. And you know what we could do with week 18 of the season? What good teams are able to do. We could evaluate Sam fucking Howell. We could see what the rookie has, because he's an enigma. He's like fucking Lord Voldemort. Like, no one's allowed to say his name in any press conference. No one's allowed to ask about him. They aren't allowed to speak about him. I would like to know what the 5th rounder's progress has been like through the duration of the season, because we don't really know anything. I'd like some type of progress report. Give me an interim on Sam Howell. How's he picked up the offense and progressed through his rookie season? It would be lovely if we could just clinch on Sunday, first day of the year, January 1st, 2023, and we could just play Sam Howell versus the Cowboys backups next week and see what he's got. Not comparing them to great guys, but good teams clinch and they get that last week to evaluate motherfuckers. That was the first time we saw Patrick Mahomes. It was because they rested Alex Smith for week 17 of the Chiefs season, where Alex Smith was judged like an MVP candidate. We got to see Mahomes for the first time. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he looked impressive, and he looked every bit of the Mahomes that we got to see going forward. I would like to see what our young quarterback has, but you know that's not going to be the case. You know, if we do get in the playoffs, we will not know until fucking 11:59 on January 8th next week, because we have to make life as hard and difficult as possible, but we already know what we do here, man. That's how we get down. Appreciate everybody. Love y'all. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. And your boy is back. Love y'all for sure, man. Like, y'all mean a lot to me. The kind words and concern, they mean the world to your boy. I do this wholeheartedly for y'all, man. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Take command. See y'all soon. Deuces.